What's up guys, we're back with another fire tutorial. Quick little before and after of my client here. Let y'all know what you're in store for. So we're gonna start this cut by combing through the hair, making sure that everything is being brushed in the direction that it's going to be cut. And we're coming through with the number 2 metal guard with the grain. We're going wavelength on the top into a clean, blurry, bald fade. Now as you can see, I'm doing consistent strokes with this number 2 guard. Got my GoPro on for these angles. Gotta make sure that the camera is also in focus and that I got the best angle I can. So we're gonna finish this up with that metal number 2. And we're gonna go straight into debulking on the sides. I'm keeping that number 2 on and I'm going right up to his parietal ridge. And we're clearing all that bulk, getting ready for it to be faded. Anytime that I come up with a guard, I always come back down with the grain just to smooth that transition out. And we're gonna come through with the Babyliss trimmers and we're gonna create our first guideline. And notice how I'm not stamping that line in. I'm coming with my blade up and it's going to allow a softer guideline to be created so that it's much easier to fade out. So we're gonna come grab my ergos here. We're gonna come right into this fade with the blade open. And we're gonna go up about 1/2 inch. You wanna give yourself enough room to blend and enough room for this fade to come out looking blurry. So my client, he kind of got the Rick Ross beard going on. We're gonna trim it up just a little bit in this video later on, but for the most part, we're gonna keep that beard nice and full. And it's gonna complement him very well with that little bit of salt and pepper look going through it. So we're gonna just keep coming through here, using the lever, just detailing. And again, with my number 1 guard open, I'm coming right underneath where I went with that number 2 metal guard. And I'm just laying the hair down. So once I finish that, I'm gonna go against the grain with the 1 open, fade it down till it's closed, and then we're gonna come through with the 1/2 guard and clear the remaining bulk out of that line on the bottom. I typically fade in sections like this, but what I've been noticing recently is that when I do fade like this, sometimes my fade comes out uneven. So what I've been doing now is going around the whole head when I create my first bald guideline. So this way I have some sort of balance and some sort of symmetry on both sides, so I know where my fade starts and where I need it to end. As you can see, the fade starting to come together. This definitely wasn't a hard transition. It's going into a 2 with the grain. So the highest guard that we're gonna use is a 2 open. So with this GoPro, I'm just steadying my angle and I'm gonna come through and put a rough draft with this lineup. So as you can see, once you put that line into the haircut, everything else starts to come together and you can see any dark spots, any inconsistencies, and stuff like that. You definitely want to go back in detail when you do put the lineup in, because it's going to take the cut to a whole nother level. everything in this industry is time consuming. You want to make sure that you're able to move quick, efficiently, but still give a really good haircut. So definitely find little shortcuts, little tricks to speed your process up. So we're just using the number 0 guard. We just went through our fading process and we're going through detailing. And like I said, I do both sides and then I match it to the back. So as you can see here, I'm shaving all that hair off to come through and start the fade towards the back to match it to the sides. Now in the back, I come up just a little bit higher with my guideline because the hair in the back is typically way more dense. So we're gonna come back here again with the lineup. Don't ask why I'm doing it this way. I typically don't do it like this. I don't know why I just did one side of the lineup at a time and then the other side. Do the lineup all at the same time so that everything is consistent. So I just shaped up the front. I'm coming right into the beard. And like I said, he wants to keep his beard nice and full. So I'm just using a number 2 and I'm coming down and I'm taking any loose hairs that are poking out of the beard and I'm taking it off. And now I'm gonna go ahead and fade the top of the beard into the fade. And it's the same process, just the steps are backwards. I'm gonna line up the back side of the beard. And shouts out to Luke, guys. He just moved here from Texas and he had to sneak himself into this video somehow. But the next video that I drop is actually going to be a haircut on him. And we're going to use some new clippers that I got. So what you just saw me do was break the wings off of my razor blade to load it into this razor. This is a feather razor, but you can use normal razor blade. You just have to break the tips off. So I'm coming through, lining him up, putting a sharp line on the beard, and then I'm gonna grab my trimmers and I'm gonna come through and just detail his mustache. Now for the mustache, he likes it lined up, but he doesn't like it too thin. So towards the top of the nose, we're gonna leave that just how it is and just put a sharp line on the rest of it. So on the lineup, we're bringing everything back to those lines that we created with the trimmer, making sure that everything is nice and sharp and everything flows naturally. Definitely don't push back your client. Obviously, if the hairline isn't as full or as great as needs to be, you can make some cosmetic corrections, but that's worst case scenario. Definitely try to keep everything natural and fitting to their face. So we're gonna take the Barber Magic pencil, and this is the only enhancement that I'm using on him. So we're gonna come through here, apply it, and then afterwards we're gonna come back and blend it in with the trimmers. So as you can see, it creates sort of a change in contrast on the skin. So I'm just applying some oil sheen here just to get some shine to the hair, and then I'm gonna brush all his hair forward and just get it into the style that he wanted. So guys, check out the before, and we brought him back into the game. Here's the after. And I just love how the facial expression changes after a good haircut. So let's get this man out of the chair and let him do his thing. Thanks for checking out another video, guys. I appreciate the support.